Hi everybody, Glenn McClellan with you today. You're driving into work with Dr. Glenn. Anyway, today I'm going to ask you the question, is there such a thing as constructive criticism? Is there such a thing as constructive criticism? We might be tempted to say, of course there is. It makes perfect sense. But I'm going to give you a couple examples. When you're in a relationship with somebody, what comes into play is how different sensitivity levels are with each individual. And sometimes you may not know it, but you might be married to someone who has is very sensitive by nature, and you just look at them funny and they can start tearing up. And you have other people, you're cursing and swearing, and they seem unfazed by it. And so yeah, they're able to take that constructive criticism. But how do you handle a child that comes to you with a drawing and they say, "Here, Daddy, this is for you. Here, Mommy, this one's for you"? Do you say to them, "Well, your spider only has 5.5 legs. Why didn't you make 8? Are you critical? How do you critique them? That picture doesn't look anything like me. I don't know what you were thinking. I can't believe that you thought baboons had pink hair." But whatever you say to them, of course, the child would walk away hurt. They would walk away not feeling loved, and they'd walk away probably not wanting to bring any other picture or drawing or coloring to you because of the way you responded to them. So what I want to suggest to you, your spouse, your husband, your wife is no different than those children who are coming to you with their artwork, with their drawings, with their colorings, with their creative endeavors, and they're saying, "Hey, what do you think, Daddy? What do you think, Mom?" And when a spouse is critical of the other, it's very easy for you then to become used to giving criticism, thinking it's doing a lot of good in the marriage. But the fact is, you may be setting up your partner to not want to really share at an intimate, deep, empathic level with you, because in their mind, you're not really safe. That child may not want to wake up on a Saturday morning and get their coloring book out or their artwork and make you something. After a while, if they walk away criticized, that's going to have a play in your relationship, just like it would with the child. Well, we know for certain that it has a play to do with spouses as well. Let me show you how sensitive the soul really is, and why when you're talking about things like this, it's just the question, I was just kind of trying to be constructive, trying to help them along. That's why I gave it to them. But if it's critical, you're in the arena, and all they can do is get in a horse with you to defend themselves, which does not make it good for you, or to criticize back, which does not make that good for you. And you put distance between you and your partner. That is a problem. That is why my message to you is, do not go in the arena. Refuse to enter into the arena. Refuse to be critical. Refuse to have contempt. Refuse to show any kind of stonewalling, and practice the antidote. Refuse to be defensive. When you are standing your sacred ground, you are not being defensive. You're standing there ready for them to swing at you again. When Jesus says, "Turn the other cheek," this is what he is referring to. He's expecting that there will be some people who are in life who are mature, who, yeah, it hurts when you get slapped. It does. But he's saying, can you still know who you are when you get slapped? Can you still stand tall, remembering who you are and what you're all about? Can you still stay slapped and not have to get your fist up to ready to hit them back? And the truth is that is extraordinary, and most people do not do that. And it is almost impossible. If a stranger came up to you, I guarantee 99% of the people, if they slapped you, you would get into a scuffle with them, you would strike them back, and to not hit them and to not retaliate is truly an act of true maturity and wisdom and knowing who you are. This is the very thing that we're referring to when we say stand your sacred ground. So, it's just constructive criticism. Well, it's criticism. They have to get on a horse. They will be defensive. You will be in the arena. Let me show you how sensitive the soul really is by this example that I noticed when I took my kids to the pool. They were 7 and 5 at the time, and it was a big pool and everyone was there, other kids, and they were playing with them. And I noticed as I watched them, they were jumping off a diving board and they were pretending they were different characters. One was a ballerina and she'd go off the thing spinning, and they were just in this carefree fantasy world that kids can get into when they're just summer day and it's at the pool and everything's safe. And my son would jump off and say, "I'm a Ninja Turtle." And he'd jump off and everything was going fine for about 5 minutes until an older sister of one of the girls who was jumping off looked at her from way across the pool, and she just asked one silly question. It was just one question. You could even say she might have even asked it curiously and with no intention whatsoever to harm anybody. And that question was, "What are you doing?" And just that question alone made them self-conscious enough to feel like this is not safe. Uh-oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Uh-oh, I have no idea if this is okay or not. Uh-oh. And I want to suggest to you, when you're a spouse in a relationship and you ask questions or you look at them puzzled or whatever, they don't know. Maybe it's not the best way to do it as a mom. Maybe it's not the best way to do it as a dad. And so, yes, they can feel criticized. So, is there such a thing as constructive criticism? I'm going to say, no, there's not. If you're married, stay out of the arena and don't criticize.